Ideally, youth aging out of the foster care system should have a place to call home, essentially a safety net as they transition into adulthood. Otherwise, emancipated youth face enormous challenges. According to the National Institute on Mental Health, these challenges include homelessness, unemployment, drug use, and crime. San Mateo County not only recognizes this problem, but has an award-winning program that provides opportunities for current and former foster youth. Joining us is Felicia Flores with San Mateo County's Supported Training and Employment Program, or STEP. Thank you so much for joining us, Felicia, today. Let's start out with the STEP program. What is it and what happens?
That's a great question. Thank you so much for having me today. STEP is a supported training and employment program. It's a program specifically for current and former foster youth, ages 18 to 24. It provides the youth with workplace readiness training. It provides them with work experience in a county department, with individualized coaching, with transition planning, and with ongoing program support.
You know, it all sounds very simple. If you're absent these skills and you're just put on your own out into the street, I can't imagine going to a job interview without these readiness skills.
Yes, and that's why we definitely put a really heavy emphasis on the workplace readiness skills. So before the interns start the program, they go through a week-long orientation. And during this, we provide them with technical skills, so things about Microsoft Word and Excel. But we also talk about customer service, about relationships, about networking, about diversity in the workplace, and those really critical things to help them be successful.
I also understand that in this process, each youth is paired with a coach, essentially an employee of the county. Mm-hmm. And what happens? What is that relationship about?
That's a great question, and really the coaches play a critical role in the program. We couldn't do it without them. We have had over 200 county employees volunteer to mentor and work with a young person as they work through all of these challenges and barriers and get trained. So the coaches provide regular training and feedback and recognition, and they really support the young person in their employment journey and kind of outside of life too. The interns really look up to the coaches for their feedback and for their guidance in a lot of cases. And I've actually been lucky enough to have been a coach to 2 young people, and not only did I have an opportunity to provide them with training, but they've taught me so much in the process. So much about resiliency and about courage and just perseverance. They are incredible young people, and I feel so honored to be a part of the program and to be able to provide them with this opportunity.
You know what I'm hearing is not just job skill training, but it sounds like there's a real trusting relationship being built where this coach is teaching this young person life skills, and there's a sense of almost a sense of family that I'm feeling between the pair.
Yeah, the intern and the coach work together really closely, especially during the start of the internship. We actually had a student consultant come and do a study on STEP, and she found that not only do the interns increase their workplace readiness skills, so communication, reliability, but the coaches actually grew as well. So they were more patient and they were more empathetic, and they had stronger leadership skills as a result of working with this young person.
So this is like literally a win-win.
Yes, it definitely is. I think it's a win-win on many levels. So not only is the intern getting an opportunity to develop their workplace skills, but they're also contributing towards the county and the work that we're trying to do. We have folks out in parks that are helping keep the parks clean and greet people and just help make the park a better place. And we have people working in health, and we have people working in just various departments within the county, and they're contributing towards the work that we're doing. And then also the coaches, they're getting experience mentoring and working with a young person.
One of the, my personal opinion is important key factors is a sense of belonging, a sense of I'm a part of. And with this program, I'm getting the feeling that they get that I'm a part of, because they have specific duties that they have to fulfill in order to make the program work. They're given tasks and they must do these things.
Yes, so they are definitely given work that we need done in the community. In some cases, they're working directly with clients. In some cases, they're kind of on the back end, helping with some of the more administrative things. But I think the really neat thing about the program is that the interns are not only part of the county, but they're also bringing their unique perspective into the work. So one example is an intern in the Human Resources Department was helping me with a project. We were looking to create a document with best practices for hosting interns, just regular county interns, not specific to STEP, just in general. How can we get better? And I was thinking more along the lines of what can we do in terms of onboarding and supporting them while they're in the program, and kind of as they're exiting, what can we do? But he brought a really interesting perspective. He talked about well, maybe we should provide them with like a listing of housing resources, and maybe some links to scholarships for school, and maybe try to do things to make them feel more included and more a part of the team. So I think they're also bringing a diversity and perspective into the department.
And how do you measure success in the program?
So we do have some performance measures that we look at and that we collect on an ongoing basis. So we look at the percentage of interns that improve their workplace readiness skills as measured by their job coach. We look at the number of interns that kind of complete the core elements of the program. So that's completing the week-long orientation and at least 12 weeks in the program. And then we also look at what is the intern doing a year after starting the program. So are they employed? Are they working? Or both. And that's those are some of the ways we measure success. But I'd say a more kind of intangible way is through the stories that we hear, seeing some of the interns feel more empowered and confident, or come out of their shell, or be more willing to ask questions, and just taking on more responsibility.
And
Great.
I understand we're lucky enough we're going to meet one of these people.
Yes. Auxi is so incredible and has brought so much joy and insight and perspective into the work we do. And she's really become a core member of the team. So it's not just interns coming in and doing busy work and helping us with copies and files, but she's really adding value and really contributing towards our team and the county in general.
One last question before we meet Auxi. Do they generally stay in county employment?
We've had a few interns that have gone on to become regular employees in the county. Of course, we'd like to see more of that, but we understand that the interns kind of have their own journey. So some go on to do school full-time, whereas others go into other employment opportunities. So everyone's on their different journey, but we have been fortunate enough to have a few individuals stay and be employed with the county.
Now, in the 10 years that STEP has been around, who is most responsible for pulling this thing together and really getting it off the ground and as successful as it is?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know that there's a simple answer. Truly, the interns are a huge part of the program. The coaches are essential, and we could not have the program without them. But then there's also the Board of Supervisors and the county manager, who have been so supportive of the program and who really support and advocate for our young people. So grateful for their support, and also for the voters. So STEP is fully funded by Measure K. So that's a special tax measure that is given to the county, and we're lucky enough to have some of those funds allocated towards this program. So really, without the support of the voters, of our Board of Supervisors and our county manager, we could not have the program and not support these young people in the way we are.
Thanks, Felicia. Now we're going to meet Auxi.
Thank you.
We're back now, and we're joined by Auxi Trejos. She's an intern, and she's got a coach. This is the real deal here with STEP program. How long have you been in the STEP program?
Well, first, thank you for having me. This is a wonderful opportunity. I appreciate you taking the time. I've been with the STEP program almost a year. It'll be a year on June 18th.
And in that time, how's your life changed?
It's changed tremendously. I can say for a fact, when I was in college, I was able to do a lot of advocacy work and gain a lot of experience. However, looking for employment, STEP is actually the catalyst that I needed to ensure that I was put on the official radar to actually start looking for real workplace experiences.
Did you get hope, Auxi, when you aged out of the foster care system? Did STEP, excuse the pun, step right in? Was it right there for you to get some support?
So when I aged out, actually, I was 21. I hadn't heard of STEP yet. And so I actually didn't join the STEP program until I was 23.
How was that?
Well, it was a difficult few years. It really was. And at the time, I wasn't a San Mateo County resident, and so I wasn't aware of the resources available in that county. And then when I became a county resident through the university that I was at, they actually notified me that STEP is available, and they were there for me. And it was tremendously a relief to know that there was a program out there that was specializing in what I needed at that moment.
I'm extremely impressed that they reached out, and so glad that you didn't get too far out before somebody was able to pull you back in. I'm very grateful for that. Now, in that year, how has your life changed?
Well, I was given the wonderful opportunity to work with the Jobs for Youth program. I was able to maintain, create, and garner partnerships with a lot of community organizations. I was able to work in the field that I was looking forward to working for. And so I've gone to amazing schools, met amazing people, gained a lot of life skills, a lot of interpersonal skills, and a lot of office skills really needed on a daily basis that colleges, high schools, and individuals who just don't have time can't help you gain those important skills.
A lot of people I've heard telling me those life skills are as important as the, say, on-the-job training or the specific office skills. It's the life skills and a sense of esteem that you need to have. And that's what I'm hearing you learned?
Yes, I learned exactly where my skill level was and where I needed it to be, as well as having the confidence to really walk into the office and greet people in the eye and establish a name for myself and be confident in the knowledge that I had that I could actually bring to value in the program. And that was something that prior to the STEP internship program was something that I was wrestling a lot with.
Auxi, can I ask you what it's like now? You're describing a wonderful program that supports you on every different level. What was it like in the foster care system? Were you supported for future dreams in any academic ways, preparing for the job world? Was there anything like that for you?
Not necessarily. I was placed at a very young age. I was 14, just thrust into a brand new environment. And it was really difficult because I moved in the many years that I was in there from 14 to 21. I moved 9 times. And so that really severed a lot of connections I could have established, mentorships, coaching, guidance. And so a lot of the skills I gained on the job or through classes or TV shows, whatever I could feed my brain, I tried to gain, but it's really hard to hear about it and then experience it. And so the foster care system, while they are trying their very best to save lives and really bring our next generation up, there are still gaps where unfortunately programs like STEP can really step in and fill in those gaps.
What would you like to do now that you have some training and you have, say, for lack of a better term, your foot in the door, so to speak, down perhaps some corridors that you would like to find employment? Where would you like to go in terms of your future?
Well, ideally, I'd love to stay with San Mateo County. You know, they really have supported me in so many ways. They've seen the potential that I knew I always had, but it's nice to feel validated and given the opportunity to really shine. Ideally, I'd love to work with youth. That's really where I want to go. I got my degree in criminal justice just so that I knew what the problem was, so that I could be part of the solution. Ideally, maybe with high schools, or maybe even stay with the Jobs for Youth program and continue the journey that we're going in into supporting our next generations.
I would like to give you an opportunity to say thank you. Some people, it sounds like, really grabbed a hold of you and held your hand and said, "Hey, Auxi, this is available." Is there anybody out there who you'll always remember for that?
Yes, there is. I want to first start by saying thank you to the STEP program for taking me in, especially because my application was late, and giving me the opportunity to have this experience and to showcase, not just on paper, but in person, that I have the potential to make it in the workforce. I'd then like to personally thank Rosa, the program manager of Jobs for Youth program, who is also my coach. You are tremendous. Just the support, the guidance, the love, the advice, just the in-person presence has really tremendously done so much for me than other individuals have ever done in my life. The third person would be Conrad. He is the manager of the organizational development, and he actually has been guiding me and mentoring me as well alongside Rosa. So it's been just tremendous to know that there are people out there who really see what I have and enjoy it, love it, and want to nurture that. And then lastly, I just want to thank my program that I was in for my college. They actually notified me of the STEP program, and so it was very nice. So I just want to say thank you to everyone I've ever met for really providing me this wonderful opportunity and seeing my potential.
Auxi, thank you so much for sharing all of this information with us, and we wish you the very best. STEP was started in 2009. It was said in the beginning, what's good for the youth is good for the county. In keeping with that spirit, the Award for Excellence recently bestowed upon STEP emphasizes that San Mateo County is going above and beyond what's expected of government. Thanks for watching this edition of Take Notice. I'm your host, Janet Yee. Have a safe day.